Hi friends, my name is Emily and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the process of propagating. So if you're interested in learning how you can propagate your houseplants, then just keep on watching. So you may be wondering, what is propagation? Well, propagation is simply just the process of creating new plants from existing ones. But the easiest plants, in my opinion, to propagate are pothos, heart-shaped philodendron, scindapsus, and spider plants. And there's a few different methods on how you can propagate plants as well. Now, the most common method, and my favorite method to use, is water propagation. Now, water propagation is when you simply just cut the stem of a plant, making sure there are nodes present, maybe one or two or even more, and stick it in some water. And over the next few weeks, you'll notice roots growing on the nodes of your plant. Whenever you do water propagation, you'll want to make sure to change out the water frequently, maybe once every few days. You can also use a product called root hormone to expedite the process of your roots growing. Water propagation I would consider to be the most common form of propagation. This is an example of a water propagation that I have. You can see all the little roots down there, and I'm gonna pot it up here before too long. But I love the way that it looks too. It's just so cute and whimsical. I love it. This is another example of a water propagation, and as you can see, it has quite a few roots down there. The second method that's commonly used for propagation is the soil rooting method. This is when you take a stem that has nodes on it and you stick it right into some soil and you keep the soil moist until roots grow. I do use soil propagation whenever I'm trying to make a plant that I already have fuller. So if I have a potted plant such as this golden pothos, it's very light on top, I can take a cutting from the long stem, simply put it in the soil, make sure the soil is moist, and eventually roots will start growing in the pot and I would have a fuller pothos. So the next propagation method that we're going to go over is using sphagnum moss. Now I use this method pretty regularly, especially when I am propagating alocasia. How you propagate an alocasia is by taking these little corums that are found in the soil of the plant over time and then putting those in sphagnum moss, and eventually those corums will grow roots and you'll get another plant. Here's a corum. And as you can see, those healthy roots there are growing, and eventually a leaf will start growing from the top. This is a sphagnum moss propagation that I did several months ago. Whenever I was repotting my alocasia frydek, I found a bunch of corums in the soil, so I stuck them in some sphagnum moss. And as you can see, I've gotten a lot of leaves from those corums. The fourth way that you can propagate your plants is in perlite. I think I tried it one time. I had a plastic box that I put perlite in, and I put a couple cuttings in the perlite. Over a couple weeks, I did see some growth, but it really wasn't, any better than just using sphagnum moss, in my opinion, or just the water propagation method. The fifth method of propagation is actually a method that I've never used before. So air layering is usually used for woodsier types of plants, such as ficus, like a rubber tree, or a fiddle leaf fig, or a benjamina. When you air layer, the stem will still be attached to the plant. And you take these plastic pods that wrap around where you're wanting the stem to grow from, and you make sure that that pod is filled with a medium, such as like a moist sphagnum moss. Now that we've gone over what propagation is and all the different methods of propagation, I'm gonna let you guys know how you can do this at home and all the supplies that you need to propagate your own plants. You will need a clean, sterilized pair of clippers or trimmers. These I got at like Target or somewhere. I don't know. They're not super fancy. They get the job done, but you will want to make sure that you sterilize these first, because if you don't sterilize your clippers, they can contaminate your plants. The next thing you're going to need is a propagation vessel. I just have this glass bottle that I bought from IKEA with water propagation. I really like to use something that's clear because I feel like that is a great way of really just keeping track of your propagations, making sure they're not rotting. Love these types of bottles. I buy them primarily for propagation and they're only like $2 or $3 a piece. So I have a bunch of these. This is what I'm going to be using today. And last but not least, you'll want the plant that you're wanting to propagate. This plant is one of my favorite plants to propagate. It is a Scindapsus. So you'll just want to find a long stem on your plant. I found the stem I'm going to cut. It's going to be this portion right here. There are several nodes on this stem. It will give me plenty of opportunity to grow a lot of really good healthy roots. I'm gonna go ahead thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here and I'll see you in my next video soon.